Hi guys, another plant vlog here, and this is for a Syngonium, and I believe this is a neon Syngonium. There are a lot of different kinds of varieties, and this is the neon something, like Robusta, or I don't know. I'm not really sure. So if you want to correct me, you know more about it, let me know down below. This is one of my first Syngoniums. They actually came together. So these are actually 3 different plants, and I put it in one pot originally, and this is another one, and this is another one. Then they're all the same kind of variety, so I just put them in the same pot. So what happened was I thought I had enough, a 6-inch pot, but I didn't. So when I tried to transplant it, I had to use an 8-inch pot, and I wanted to do like 1 6-inch for this one, and this was going to be another 6-inch. Unfortunately, I did not have enough pots, so I just put them all together in an 8-inch pot. And this is what they all look like. I did transplant them, and I did water them. It's best to usually water it thoroughly, especially when it's like a fresh transplant. That's always a great thing to do. And then afterwards, once you've already seen how much the plant can really take, then you just lower the volume to see how for your next watering. That's what I usually do, so you don't really get the excess that will just pull down here and that you have to like throw out or just kind of waste. So I don't really like doing that. But usually I like, when transplanting, I like to thoroughly just do that. And for me, it just kind of helps guide the roots that, oh, there's a water system over here. So let's just, try to go over there. I did water this in my dirty sink, and as you can see, there's still like a little bit of water that was just coming out. I will dump that out when I'm done vlogging. And she is just beautiful. So right now, I'm planning to put her close, very, very close to a very bright east window. All my windows don't really have any structure or trees covering it. So my plants really get a lot out of my windows. So she will probably be like 2 feet away from a window, from an east window. If she needs more light, from everywhere that I've read, they usually indicate that by having, if they need more light, then the leaves will be a little bit more green. That's just a variegated plant, really. Because all plants really, when as much green that they do have, the more they need less light. I mean, depending on the plant itself. But if you have a type of plant that is low to medium light and they have a green variety, that one can actually tolerate less light and can thrive with less light because they're all green. And when they're all green, it's only the green parts truly that can absorb any light. So like this is pink right here, right? But the back is green. So that's also absorbing some light, but usually leaves are green in the top and green in the back. So they can absorb as much light as they can. So this one can definitely, from everywhere that I've noticed, from just, myself and reading other people's plants and information, watching YouTube videos, it seemed like the more variegation you have, the more bright light it needs. It doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be close to the bright light source. It just means the longevity of the light. So, for example, like if you want to put this in an east window or close to an east window, and let's just say for my end, some parts of that wall will get a western light later in the day, probably for a few hours, and it would be like, I would say 40 to 50 feet away. So that's still extra light. But this particular plant, I don't believe she will get extra light from there. But she will only get morning light, will be the heaviest, and then later in the day like around right now, like midday or later on, she will get a ton of just bright, very indirect light due to the fact that she will be sitting in close to an east window. So everything that I have used will be linked in the description section. My Instagram and my other social media accounts will be in the description section. If you already follow me on Instagram, you know I love like posting my plants all the time. I try to get pictures of a handful of them in one day because I want to document that for myself. So if you want to follow me there, if you want to connect through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're all in the description section. So feel free to do that. I love connecting with you guys all the time. If you have any tips, tricks, advice when it comes to this particular plant, let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys. And if I always thrive to wake up in the morning and learn at least one thing that's new, you know? So I like doing that. I hope you enjoyed my video, that you're going to hit the like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and of course the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. Again, everything that I am using, that I am currently using to water and all that good stuff will be in the description section. So do expand that. It's a little tricky when you're using a phone or an iPad or a tablet. It's easier, I think, in a computer. Like a personal computer or a Mac, laptop, and things like that. But it's there, so I'm already used to doing that and stuff on YouTube. But I did realize when my husband, who is slightly technologically challenged, he was having a hard time. He wanted to open a description section in a video he was looking at, and he said it doesn't exist anymore on his phone. So I tried to help him out. So there you have it. She is just beautiful. I've always thought this plant was beautiful, but I would tell myself that they're not, that they were ugly, because I didn't want to fall in love with them and want to get them and then kill them. And at some point, I forgot what it was, but something triggered me to be interested in this particular plant. I did my research, and apparently they're very easy to care for. So my interest, of course, got piqued. And of course, now I just wanted to have my very own. And here she is. And she is just so beautiful. There is another one that's a different kind of pink called, I think, Pink Illusion. And then there's like just different kinds. I plan and try to want to get different kinds, but I do prefer like the pinkier ones. So let me know down below what their names are, because I'd love to try and collect them. And so far right now, what I'm going to try and do with this is when this starts to get longer, I'm going to try and propagate it to fill these blank spots to make it fuller. And if I can, it's already full enough that there won't be any more space in there, which is what I'm trying to do with my other plants that have like spaces in here, is I will put that in it's either I will transplant it in a slightly bigger pot, or I will just put it in its own new pot. So I will have like a different plant in a different pot, which I want to fill a lot of rooms in my home to just kind of perk you up, especially like in the upcoming like fall and winter months, which is really, really hard, especially because I suffer from PCOS. So I have a really, really high tendency of depression due to that. And the less light that people get, like the little things that that a lot of people that do not really suffer with anxiety, depression, and like post-concussion syndrome, the little things you just disregard and don't really see them, they're very, very important to people like me, because the little things actually can trigger a great deal of joy, or it can trigger a great deal of sorrow. So I'm very in tune with that now. I did my research and observing my own self, writing stuff down, recording stuff down, just so I can remind myself what's going on, what I can improve, what I could, avoid, what I could make things just better for me and for everybody else around me. So that's just what I've been doing, and I'm really, really enjoying that. They're just so beautiful. Look at that. And her color changes with the light. It's just breathtaking. And so I love it. I love it so much. Look at that. And this is just like, look at that. What a stunner. And where I got these plants, of course, will be in the description section as well. So if you're interested and maybe they still have these plants available or just want to be on their list, if they do have a list, it will be in the description section again, as usual. Anything else that I forgot to mention, let me know down below in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys all the time. And thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of the beautiful, supporting, lovely words and the kindness and the love that you guys have shown. Thank you so very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.